questions in English, Chinese, and Korean. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature to queue yourself in line for a question, and I will call on you, or you may type your question in the chats. First question from MGG. Back in the day, you won several best of fives against Chinese or Korean teams with Fnatic and G2, but nowadays the best of fives seem harder. Do you feel the gap has increased lately, or will you just close the gap this next series?
I mean, I definitely think it's been hard the last few years, but I think it's not necessarily about the gap getting bigger, because I also feel like it's been hard for us in Europe as well. We went from winning, like, I think it was what, six titles in a row to losing every year, basically at least one of them. So I think I have just not been performing very well, and my teams have not been performing up to what, like the 2018, 2019, even 2020. So I definitely think we need to step up big time. And I feel like we started doing that now with the match series, but I still think we have a long way to go. So we're gonna try our best to show up on. I think we play in 2 days.
Next question from Bruno Rodriguez. Doinby said that many mid laners had reached out to him about Nautilus mid, but you weren't one of them. Does the pick have any inspiration behind it, or is it just something from the meta?
uh, definitely a lot of inspiration from Doinby. I was even watching some of his old VODs, and I experienced firsthand the Doinby Nautilus. So definitely something that came a lot from there, and something that I just tried out in solo queue after the riot buffs. But yeah, I'm not really on. I don't really have, I guess, a talking with Doinby, but maybe that's a good idea for the future.
오늘 승리 축하드립니다. 두 가지 질문을 드리고 싶은데요. 이번 시리즈의 승부처는 역시나 역전승을 거뒀던 2세트였던 것 같습니다. 당시 불리했던 상황에서 어떻게 상황을 반전시키려고 했는지 궁금하고, JDG와 BLG 중 한 팀과 맞붙게 되는데 어떤 팀을 만나고 싶은지 그 이유도 함께 부탁드립니다. Congratulations on the win. I think this series, I have two questions for you. First off, this series, I think the most decisive moment was game number 2 when G2 got a comeback win. So you guys are falling a little bit behind, but what did you focus on in order to turn the table around? And the second question is, so you will be facing either JDG or BLG. So which team do you prefer and why?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely happy we won, and I think what led to the game to comeback was definitely BB stepping up big time. I think he had very clutch casuals, especially when they dove him. So I think that was very important. And then we just found the right fights. I think when they started Baron, it was kind of a throw from them, because we managed to get a really good fight. And from there, it felt definitely in our hands. And as for our opponents, yeah, it will be either JG and BLG, and I think the safe bet is probably JG, just because they won like very recently. I think 3 weeks ago. So I think probably we'll play against BLG, but at the same time, I also feel like they have been showing up very well on stage in a lot of their games. Even I think they lost only one game so far, and even that game they were kind of destroying their opponents. So definitely gonna be a close series, I think. But I think it will go the way of JG.
네, 오늘 이겨서 정말 기쁩니다. 특히 가장 중요했던 거는 브로큰 블레이드 선수가 정말 중요한 순간마다 카시로 정말 많은 클러치 플레이를 보여줬고, 예를 들어서 상대가 비비 선수를 노렸을 때 다이브 할 때 카시 궁으로 잘 맞받아 친다든지, 오늘 정말 클러치 플레이가 잘 먹혔던 것 같고요. 그 이후로는 저희가 이제 저에게 맞는 싸움을 잘 찾았고, 예를 들어 상대가 바론을 시도할 때 좋은 한타를 펼칠 수 있었습니다. 그리고 다가오는 매치에 대해서는요, 제 생각에는 우선 그 징동 대 BLG전은 징동이 이길 것 같고, 아마 그 이유는 3주 전쯤에 이제 이미 JDG가 BLG를 꺾고 우승했기 때문에 징동이 이기는 가능성이 더 크게 보고 있고, 그 말인즉슨 이제 저희가 BLG를 상대할 거라는 예측이 될 수도 있는데요. 여태까지 BLG도 MSI에서 정말 좋은 경기력을 보여줬고, 딱 한 세트만 졌을 뿐만 아니라 그 한 세트도 굉장히 강력한 모습을 보여주다가 진 거였기 때문에 정말 접전이 될 것 같다고 생각합니다.
Next question from Correspondente. Today, G2 proves what you have said. Your team is the strongest in Europe. How much does this help to believe in the dream of moving forward in the competition?
Thank you. I mean, definitely feels good to the games. I feel like we had a good idea of how we wanted to win, and it worked out. I'm also super happy with beating Matt, since they beat us very recently. And it's nice for us to show that we stepped up. And I do think we have a lot more steps to take if we want to challenge the LPL and LCK teams. But luckily with this format, we'll be facing them in like order of strength. So we will it will slowly get, I guess, better. And we can learn from each series and hopefully improve enough between them to keep challenging. And I definitely have confidence that if we show up on the days that we can beat anyone, but also lose to anyone. So we really need to step up.
同时也想请问一下，有没有中文媒体想要提问？如果有问题的话，也可以打在聊天框内，或者选择举手按钮。感谢。
Next question from President Esports. How do you think the change of the MSI format has impacted the Western teams?
I think the change of MSI format helped us out a lot actually, because there's more LPL LCK teams at the tournament, and I think we get to scrim against a lot more different teams that are very strong. And I know from us that we've learned so much this last week. And also the fact that it's double elimination means that we're actually still in the tournament. I mean, normally we would be out. And I feel like at MSI and Worlds, a lot of the time it's a catch-up game from us for my teams. And we basically just have longer time now to catch up because of the loser bracket. So I'm super happy with the new format. And I'm excited to see what the rest of the tournament will bring.
Next question from Sons of KS. On social media currently, there's this discussion on this being the repeat of the finals of 2019. What can you tell us about this being a different occasion with you being on a different team? Do you consider this team to have a better chance to win against the Korean and Chinese teams?
I think it's always hard to compare like different years, because I mean 2019 we did as well as we did back then. Like we won MSI, but then we lost at Worlds, and there's not really any changing it. I think this year is still up to us how well we do. We could lose now and just go out of the tournament MSI and maybe not even make Worlds. But at the same time, it's also in our hands to win MSI and also win Worlds. The future is like not written for us yet. So I'm definitely just excited about still having the chance to prove ourselves. And I do think we have a team that is strong enough to challenge.
你好，这里是大电竞，想请问 Caps 选手有没有从刚刚结束的 T1 和 GNG 的比赛当中得到什么启发呢？ So maybe is there anything that can inspire the whole team from the match between T1 and GNG?
Definitely a lot of takeaways. I think we were watching behind stage, and we were very ready to go on stage in game 3. But then it turned out that we had to stay for a while longer. So we were watching the games quite closely and trying to take up as much as possible. And there's definitely some strategies we might use ourselves. And also I think a lot of the way the LPL and LCK especially play the mid game is very different from the EU teams. So we're taking a lot away from that.
那确实，我们当时也是想尽可能的去想从他们的比赛当中学到更多的东西。因为其实刚才他们打比赛的时候，我们是在后台观看的。当时第3局的时候，我们已经做好了可能马上上台的准备，但是因为比赛的赛果的原因，所以说我们其实是在后台待了更久的时间。然后我们也是尽可能的全神贯注的去观看他们的比赛，想要去学到尽可能多的东西。而且我觉得在他们的比赛当中，也确实有很多的战术和战略是我们可以运用在我们身上的。我觉得可能特别是 LPL、LCK 的队伍，他们对于中期游戏的理解和很多 EU 的队伍感觉是非常不同的，所以说在这方面我们也能学到很多的东西。
Okay, that's all the time we have. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you guys for the interview.